Once you log in and your account has been configured, you'll come to a dashboard just like this. I've taken the liberty to set up an existing account so you'll see some activity. But there in the gray, right here, yours will show all zeros because you'll have had no activity up to this point. I've set up an account that has had some activity, and this is the activity that it's had right here. This is to help me explain the program to you. Here's how you manage your contacts. This is how you import existing customer lists that you have. Now this system builds lists from the incoming callers that are calling on the LiveComm.com numbers that you were assigned. But you may have lists of phone numbers and customers already in your possession. If you want to import those lists into this system, this is where you do it right here. Let's go ahead and show an example. If you want to import one number at a time, then choose this option right here. Enter the one phone number you want, 210-669-4020. Pick a list that you want it to go to, and let's just use Denver. And then click Import to List. And voila, you've added that number to your list. Now let's say you have a really long list and you don't want to do them one at a time. In this case, you'll choose the other option. Import numbers using a text file. To get your large list automatically put in all at one time, click Choose a File and go find your list. Then choose the list you want to add these numbers to. Again, let's use Denver. Click Import List. And it's simple as that. Whether you have 100 or 400 or 500 numbers, they've been imported, as long as you've chosen a package that can handle that many. Now, up at the top, you'll get to see if any of the numbers that you have in your list are landlines. In this example, you see that one of the numbers right here was a landline, and so they won't put it in the list. This one here already exists in your list, and you won't have a duplicate in that list. So, this is your explanation right here. If you need to review this sometimes, you can go right here and kind of see the monkey moves as we go along. To create a text file from scratch, just go to your Word documents, make a new document, and then type in the phone numbers or cut and paste the phone numbers into your Word document and make sure it's in this format. Each number stacked on top of each number with dashes. Then choose a file and import it. That is how you import a text file to your list. Now, let's go back to the dashboard. This is how you would view your contacts. Now, obviously, you won't have any contacts to view unless you've put your number out somewhere and people have called that number to either listen to your recording or to get a hold of your salesperson or whatever, wherever you have it forwarded. So in this example, we put these phone numbers out, and there are people calling in. The first numbers we see over here on the left are phone numbers from people who have been calling our LiveComm.com phone numbers. This column represents what day they called. Over here, you can choose to remove certain phone numbers from the list if you wish. So you just pick whichever phone number you want to remove, and you can remove it. If you're searching for a phone number, you can put it in right here and search to see if that phone number is already on this list. You can change lists that you want to look at by going to this drop-down menu. We've been looking at the Denver list, but let's say that I want to review some phone numbers or the phone numbers over here in the Buyers-Owner Finance list. You just click on that, hit search, and now you're looking at the numbers from that list. Let's go back to the dashboard and we'll continue. Now let's go to Manage Lists. This is where you can manage all the lists that you have. If you want to add a new list, simply go up here to the top, click on Add New List, and you can add a list. What do you want to name it? Let's name this list 123 Main Street. Now let's choose the phone number that we want to populate this list. There you have it. Now, 210-960-8091. Everyone that calls that number is going to populate in the 123 Main Street list. Hit save, and you're good. Let's say you want to change the name of one of your lists. And let's say that we named 123 Main Street wrong, and it's really 124 Main Street. Just go over here to edit. Change it to 124 Main Street. And click Save. This is how you change the names of your lists. I like to name the list so that I know exactly who's in there. You may have a sales call. You may have flyers that you've put certain phone numbers on, and you want to track the response to that. This is a perfect way to track your advertising. I've got phone numbers for my house buying company, which is right here, and I've got phone numbers for my individual houses. And I also have phone numbers where I advertise free list of owner-financed homes, and these people come in as possible buyers for my owner-financed homes. Get creative. Learn how to track everything you do by using all the different LiveComm numbers. You'll quickly grow into a bigger package because you'll want to track all the things that you do. If you have a Craigslist ad, then designate one of these phone numbers as a Craigslist ad. You have a yellow letter, designate a number for yellow letters. You'll be able to see all your results and get a good handle on what's working and what's not working. Let's go back to the dashboard now. So, let's say you've created some lists, you've assigned phone numbers to the list, you've put those lists out into the public and people are calling, and now you want to send a message to some of your potential customers. Let's click Send a Message. This is really simple. We want to select a list, and I want to talk to my buyers that are owner finance, and I also want to talk to everyone who called my houses because essentially they're buyers too. So let's put a check mark in Bob Bia and in Nolan and in Denver. And then the people that call for a free list of my owner finance homes, I want to contact them too. So now that I've selected the 5 groups, let's type a message and send it out to them. FYI, I have just reduced the price of 124 Main Street by $5,000. For more information, go to homesexample.com/124 Main Street. Now, this message is really going to go out to some people that I have over here because this is a live account. So I need to type here that this is just a test. Please disregard. Hit send. And your message has gone out to however many people were in all those lists. It will not send duplicates. So if some of the phone numbers were duplicated in the different lists, rest assured that that person only got one message. So I want you to think about all the different things you can do with this. Imagine, I know this for a fact. I've used this and put it out on 10 of my properties, 10 different phone numbers going to 10 of my different properties. And then I put out 20 signs for each house around the neighborhood. So 10 houses times 20 signs, that's 200 signs I have out. On an average day, I will get 75 to 100 phone calls. Every single incoming caller is placed into one of those lists that I just mailed out. It's not unusual for me to have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people in this list. So let's do another message just for fun and see how you like this. In this message, let's say I have just made an appointment to show someone a house at 7 p.m. tonight. It is right now, for the sake of this example, let's say it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've just made an appointment to show a house at 7 p.m. tonight. I've got 3,000 people in my lists. Let's select the list. Again, we're going to do owner finance buyers, Bob B. at Nolan, Denver. Okay. And now we're going to send a message. Hi, everyone. I am going to be at 124 Main Street at 7 p.m. this evening. If you'd like to see the inside of this house, please stop by. I'll be there. Again, right under here I have to put that there's a test. This is a test. Hit send. Now, what's the chances that when I show up to the 124 Main Street house at 7 p.m., I'm just going to be showing this house to one person? The chances aren't very good because I just hit 3,000 people and invited them to come over and look at the inside of this house. I do this all the time, and I'm never surprised when there's 10 and 15 people in the front yard waiting for me. This is a great tool. And here's a unique feature. Your phone number, the one that you used when you logged in to LiveComm.com, is automatically entered into every single list that you form. So when you mail out to a list, you should also get that exact message on your phone. This lets you know that your message went out. And this is a good check and balance. If you do not get the message on your phone, one of two things is. Either you didn't use your correct cell phone when you signed up for LiveComm, and you need to go to your profile and change that, or there's something wrong with the system, and you need to email support@livecomm.com. Now, if you want to send out a test message just to yourself or just to a friend, then you can put in the 10-digit phone number right here. And here we're going to use 210-669-4020. And we're going to send out a message, test, test, test. And hit send. And if you've entered your own phone number, you should get that message. And if you've entered a friend's phone number, they should get the message, and you can call them and ask them if they got your test message. This is how you test your system. Now let's go back to the dashboard again. Scroll down. Let's manage our account settings. Remember when I told you that your phone number is entered into every list that you create? So you get a copy of the message every time you send the message out? Well, this is where you can change that phone number right here. If you need to put in a different phone number than the one you registered with, this is where you'll do it. And of course, this is where you can change your email address and your pertinent information. You can even change your passwords right here and just click Update. Edit my settings. This name right here identifies who is sending the message. If you want to change that, you change it here. But for right now, that's who's identified as the sender. And this is the email address that the sender is using. These are both required fields. You want to make sure this is what you want in these two fields. Hit save, and then we'll go back again. If you want to change your plan or review your plan, you click right here. This plan was the Pro. It's 30 phone numbers, and there's the 30 phone numbers. If I want 31 numbers, I can add a number right here for $2 a month. It's very simple. Just follow the instructions. You click right here to add however many numbers you want. Let's say I'm going to add 3 numbers. Again, you can ask for specific requirements for this number. Say you want a 210 zip code, or you want 2 of them to be 210 and 1 of them to be 813. You just type in something like this. and give LiveComm a clue as to what you'd like to see in your phone numbers. But this is a great place to get local phone numbers. These will be local phone numbers. It shows you how much your bill is going to go up right here. And you just click Add if you want to make these adjustments. Now let's go back to the dashboard. Purchase additional phone numbers, self-explanatory, it's the same thing. And manage my connected LiveComm phone numbers. On this page, you get to see which list that the phone number is associated with. So right now, this phone number is associated with this list. If you want to change what list this phone number populates, then you can go right here and change that list. You would have a list of all your list names right here. You can change it, or you can select a list and you can change the phone number that you want to put here. But I think it's easier to do vice versa. Keep the phone number the same, change what list you want to populate. Now, if you want to forward this phone number, you can forward it to one phone number, or you can forward it to multiple phone numbers. You can forward it to as many phone numbers as you want to, meaning that when someone calls this phone number right here, your LiveComm.com phone number, this one right here, it's going to ring on these two phones, and whoever picks it up first gets the call. When you put in the phone numbers, you can use dashes, you can use decimals, you could put spaces, but in the example here, you just put the phone number in with no dashes, no decimals, and no spaces, only a comma. Phone number, comma, phone number, comma, phone number, comma, no spaces. But if you use those spaces, we've looked ahead for that problem, and we think it'll still work for you. Now here's an interesting feature. Right now we have send hello message to new contacts, and we have yes selected. What this yes allows you to do is every time a pristine caller calls into one of your LiveComm.com phone numbers, they will get a hello message from you automatically. Now you can customize this message, or you can use the default message. Right now in this example, this is what your default message will look like. Thank you for calling your business. Please make a note of my contact information and website. We look forward to doing business with you soon. Then it'll have your name, your phone number, your email address, and your website. Now all of this information is taken out of your personal profile. When you signed up for LiveComm.com, you filled out your first name and your last name. You gave us your cell phone number. You gave us your email address. You gave us your website. That's where this default message is being formed from. If you don't like the information being given right here in this default message, then go back and change what you want changed in your profile. Now, if you want to create a custom message, you can do so by just highlighting this, hitting delete, and we'll just do it right here. Hitting delete, and type in what you want. You can type in anything you want to here. Hello test. We're giving away 5 hamburgers with the purchase of 2 French fries. I mean, whatever you want to say. Put your phone numbers in, put whatever you want here. And just make sure you click Save down at the bottom, and it'll save that. Now, let's go back up here to the hello message again. If you do not want first-time callers to receive a message, then simply click No. And when you click No, it just simply means that when that first-time caller calls your company, they will not receive a message of any kind. Now let's go down to the voicemail setup. Right now it's currently set to text-to-speech. But this is what happens if someone calls your LiveComm.com phone number and no one answers. There is a default recording set up for this number. Until you do a customized recording, which is coming soon, It's not there right this minute, but it's coming soon. You're going to do a default to speech. So whatever you type in right here will be played back in robotic speech, if you will. Thank you for calling VND. My name is Mike Test. That's what it'll sound like. It'll sound like a robot. I didn't do a very good robot, but that's what it'll sound like. Very soon, you're going to be able to record your own personal custom recording, but I thought that it was necessary to have a default in case you've got your phone numbers and someone calls it and you just haven't had time to set up your customized message. So, once you have this all set up like you want, you just click Save, and we're done. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard. And we'll go down here to Manage My Connected LiveComm Phone Numbers. This is a very interesting screen. Here's where, let's go to, in the first list up here, the one at the top, Buyers-Owner Finance. This phone number right here, 960-8160. Let's view the contacts that have called in on this number. Again, this is where you see the phone number of the customer. This is the date they called. You can remove that number from this list, or you can remove it from all lists. Now, let's go back, and let's look at the import log. This is a very interesting screen, and I love this screen because, like here at the very top, it shows the date of 9/3/2014. And it shows on that day, one caller called this phone number. And I can view the whole list over here on the left if I want. What I like is, like, see down here where 5 phone calls came in? On 8/22/2014, 5 phone calls came on this number. I just think this is an interesting page because, you know, you might go out and put out signs one day, and you could come in and by the end of the day, see how many people called on your effort for that one day, what a difference it made. And then you can look at your whole month this way. Actually, you can look at since existence, since the number has existed, how things have gone. So let's go back to the dashboard. All right, as you start to use your LiveComm account, you'll be particularly interested in these tan fields right here. This field shows you the total amount of contacts that LiveComm has captured and or that you've imported. And this shows how many were captured by month. And this shows how many were captured today so far. These are fun to watch. When you go out and you put out your signs or you run a new advertisement or you do a new mailing campaign, it's really fun to come back in and see how successful your campaign's been. And this is where you'll do it right here. Well, that concludes the LiveComm tour. If you have any questions or there was anything that wasn't clear or you still need some help, be sure to email support@livecomm.com and someone will help you. Thank you and happy selling.